You already know what it is. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. And let me just take it back because this is full. Let me preference everything I'm getting ready to say is with saying that this is football season, and I do have that itch. I always get that scratch that I want to scratch that football itch that I got burning in me every single time every time it's this time of year. You know, you're going into August and all that stuff. But anyway, let me get to the story. It was my last season playing at Stony Brook, right? And it was a spring season, and the spring camp, whatever it is, what they call it, spring league or something like that. Spring ball. So we, had football in the spring and things like that. So they had switched me. I was at Stony Brook University, if you don't know, but they switched me from defense to offense, and they put a white jersey on me. That was the thing. Defense had the red jerseys, offense had the white jerseys. What they called it, white skirts back then and shit like that. But anyway, it's my first practice in a white jersey, right? And I remember it was the first practice, and Coach P, who still is the head coach at Stony Brook University, the defense did something. I guess the defense was lined up wrong, or they were standing in a place where he didn't want them standing. And he just, towards the end of practice, as we're kind of walking through things, he just fucking loses it. He goes, everybody in the red jersey, get on the fucking line of scrimmage. And he made him run gases, just made him run. I don't know what it was, but it takes me to my point, all right? Before I even go any further, this is a tip. This is a tip for all of you coaches. Coach P is not the only football coach that makes this mistake. Stop using running as punishment. Stop punishing players by running them. Stop saying, "Oh, you're running." Okay, I remember I had a great colleague. His name is Coach Phil Trant, who was actually on the Move Swiftly podcast about a couple years, almost 2 years ago now. And he was the strength coach when he and I were kind of the strength coaches when we were at Blake High School. And I remember him telling the boys, I will never teach running as punishment. It is a lifelong activity. Listen to me, I am 33 years old, and I run every single morning. There are people I see on the road who are on the track that I run are 70 plus. It is a lifelong activity, yet there are thousands of football coaches that make the mistake of using running as punishment. All right, it fucks up your mind. It makes kids think or associate running as if it's a bad thing. Stop doing it, please stop. Okay, because here's what happened. So Coach P has the entire defensive team running. The reason I remember it so much is because when he called everyone for a red jersey, he goes, everyone in the red jersey, get to the line. I'm running like I'm in a red jersey because it was my first practice in a white jersey, and I'm thinking, as I'm running there, I stop myself. I'm like, what the fuck I'm in a white jersey, you idiot. So the entire offense started laughing or whatever. But anyway, so he's running them, he's making them tired, he's pissing them off. I remember actually Coach Gush, the defensive coordinator back then, he's screaming, come on, let's show me we can run these all fucking night, right? So anyway, once he gets through running them, we have a couple more series of plays or whatever, and one of the defensive players, his name was Joseph Kirkpatrick was the defensive end. He is so fucking pissed. He's mad because he just, obviously for obvious reasons, Coach P, the head coach, just made him run, and it really pissed him off. So after the play, he tells, I think it was either Coach P or one of the offensive coaches, he goes, go fuck yourself. A player goes and tells a coach to go fuck himself, and Coach P gets all mad and he yells at Kirkpatrick and sends him to his office. But in all honesty, all right, so I'm running low on time, so let me get to the point of the story. Coach P had that coming. He created that by having this mindset of, okay, I'm going to teach running for punch. So he asked for that response from his defensive players. All right, I could remember vividly, especially when I was with Coach Tran at Blake. All right. When we would lose close games, he would tell the players all the time, our attitude at practice caught up with us today. So if you have the attitude in practice that, running is punishment, you will not win a lot of games. I promise you that. I can promise you that. Because when it gets to the fourth quarter, when it gets to crunch time, when it comes to you really stealing the game, mentally, you won't have the strength to condition because you associate running as a negative thing because you've been trained for that. So I'm telling you, if you want to win some games this year, if you want to win some games, and this is across the board in all sports, if you want to win some competitions, Stop teaching running as punishment, all right? Again, I dive deeper into these topics on my podcast. The name of the podcast is the Move Swiftly Podcast, available on all streams. Go purchase a couple copies of my book on makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. Happy Friday to you folks. You guys, Aswand Cruickshank, checking out your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.